الله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا صدق الله العظيم. أما بعد, from what I've known, that recently, for the past few weeks, the brothers have been holding talks on a certain hadith, which talks about people who will be granted the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today, we know that if we look outside, it's very hot. Yeah, it's very hot. Our mouth gets dry. You know, we want some water. I mean, yesterday, I think it was the hottest day, was it not? Yesterday was like the hottest day and we were feeling it, sweating. You know, we want to seek shade. And we know that this incident that the Prophet ﷺ talks about in the hadith, where 7 people will be shaded when there is no shade, we know that this is going to happen on a day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, which all, alhamdulillah, as Muslims, we all believe in. And this is a day, brothers, that's going to last for 50,000 years. We know this is a fact, 50,000 years. Now that is a very, very long time, yeah, to wait to be accounted for. I mean, we don't like waiting queues, yeah, waiting to see the doctors. We get fed up, you know, it's not in our nature. We don't like waiting. 50,000 years, brothers. And on top of that, this is a day where in which there is going to be mass panic. Yeah, people are going to be frightened. Yeah, people are going to be scared. People are not going to know what's going on. People are going to be running around. Yeah, very scared and frightened. And further to that, it's going to be very hot. Yeah? And we know, for example, in our reality, as I mentioned, that, you know, when it gets hot, you know, we don't like it. And bearing in mind that this is in the context where the sun, brothers, right now, yeah, yesterday was hot, yeah, is 94 million miles away from the earth. Yeah, the sun approximately is 94 million miles away from the earth, and we're feeling the heat. The Prophet ﷺ narrated, brothers, in a hadith that the sun on Yawm al-Qiyamah will be 1 mile above our heads. Yeah, 1 mile above our heads. 94 million miles, we can't hack it. Yeah, so this is a day, inshallah, and also he continues about how people are going to be sweating, up to depending on their bad deeds. But this is a day, brothers, wallahi, we're going to want the shade of Allah Azza wa Jal. And one of those people that will receive the shade of Allah Azza wa Jal are رَجُلَانِ تَحَبَّ فِي اللَّهِ اجْتَمَعَ عَلَيْهِ وَتَفَرَّقَ عَلَيْهِ. 2 brothers who love each other for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, who meet for that sake and who depart for that sake. Yeah? Now before we go into what does that mean, because now we know we want to be amongst those people who are exalted in that position of shade, yeah? I want to talk about our basic origins, the basic origins of human beings. Allah Azza wa Jal tells us, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ مِمَّا خُلِقَ. Does man not look at what he was made of? خُلِقَ مِن مَّاءٍ دَافِقٍ. We all, brothers, as Allah describes, we came from a gushing liquid. So we all had a basic origin. No color, no identity, yeah, no shape, no form, no ideas. Yeah, so in that sense you can say we're all equal. But Allah Azza wa Jal is the Al-Khaliq Al-Bari. He gave us our forms, He gave us our attributes, and we grow up to have skin colors, to have physical features. We grow to a certain length. Yeah, we belong to a certain, you know, a household, whether that be wealthy, whether that be poor. Yeah, so we start slowly to grow up, and on top of that, brothers, we start to ask questions. Every human, this is general for every human being, me, you, whether you be in China, whether you be in Africa, we start asking questions like, why am I here? What's going to happen next? And where am I going? Yeah. Now, depending on how you answer this question, it will affect the way you act. So for example, if someone comes out and says, you know what, I'm here to live my life to the max. That's what I'm here for. What's happening next? Who cares? It's all about maximizing my pleasures, right? If someone has that belief, he's going to act, that belief is going to lead him to act that in that way, in that lifestyle where he's just chilling, you know, he's going and just doing the wildest things. And someone who also has that view, brothers, they're going to have some sort of connection. Yeah, let's go party. Yeah, you want that? Let's go. Because they both believe that this is what life's about. Similarly, some people get into gangs. Some people, they like the music, rap music for example, and they'll start following that lifestyle and they'll get together. And people who like that lifestyle, they'll have some sort of bond, some sort of connection. Similarly, some people that might rock music, you know, and they start, you know, the lifestyle, you know, the goths, they dress in a certain way just to have their own little identity. But alhamdulillah, we know what we are, brothers. We are something called Muslims. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in the Quran, Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun anzalnahu ilayk litukhrija an-nasa min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Alif Lam Ra, indeed we have sent down upon you this book, this Islam, this Quran. To do what? To mankind, لِتُخْرِجَ النَّاسَ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ, to take them out of the darkness into the light. And notice how in Arabic the word ظُلُمَات is in plural. There's more than one darknesses. So all those ones I've just mentioned, you know, we'll go into it like rock music, some people go into this idea, this idea. These are all ظُلُمَات إِلَى النُّور. So Allah is saying to take them out from the darknesses into Islam, to the light of Islam. So we've all asked, alhamdulillah, we've asked that question. What's going to happen? Why am I here? Where did I come from? And what's going to happen next? And brothers, we say that we came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What are we here to do? We're here to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're here to believe in what He told us to believe in. The Quran, you know, Allah, His messengers, the books, the last day. You know the basic principles we believe in. What's going to happen next? There's going to be a day of judgment, and there's either going to be Jannah or there's going to be Jahannam. Alhamdulillah, brothers. Every single one of us believes this, and this belief unites us all. Yeah, I don't have to know you, but I know what you believe. Yeah, and the Prophet ﷺ, he wanted to give us this brotherhood. Yeah, and because the hadith says two brothers who love each other for the sake of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ, he was eager to instill this brotherhood in his time. So there was two phases. You had the Mecca phase and you had the phase in Medina. Now the Prophet ﷺ, we know he did the migration to establish the Islamic State and he settled there. So the Muslims from Mecca migrated to Medina. Now the Prophet ﷺ said, okay, I need to establish brotherhood because the Muslims in Mecca, they believe in Islam like the Muslims in Medina. So what did he do? He's very smart about this. Yeah, like he is. He set up brotherhoods. So he said a brother from Mecca is going to pair up with a brother from Medina. Yeah, a brother from Mecca is going to pair up with a brother from Medina. And they're going to help each other, they're going to back each other, they're going to take care of each other. And one striking example, brothers, of how even Sahaba understood this hadith of loving each other for the sake of Allah. And it's a famous example is of Abdurrahman bin Auf, radiallahu ta'ala an. Abdurrahman bin Auf, he came from Mecca, and he's been paired up with this Sahabi. So this Sahabi now, he says to him, subhanAllah, he says, all of my wealth, whether it be a lot or small, I'll half it and give half of it to you. Imagine the level you have to be on. You're my brother, all of my wealth, half of it, I want to half it and give it to you. And on top of that, he said, he had two wives. He said, I'll divorce one of my wives and I'll give one to you. I'll even let you give you one of my wives. Subhanallah, look how the Sahaba understood this concept of, you know, this idea of, he's my brother and I've got to love him for the sake of Allah. Not just by words, I'm going to actually give him half of what I have. Yeah, I'm going to really look up for him. And obviously Abdurrahman bin Auf, he said, he declined the offer and said, just take me to the market. Just take me to the market because I respect your offer, but he wanted to be independent in himself. But when we look at it in our context today, brothers, because that was the time of the Sahaba, when we look at our youth context, yeah, we see that brotherhood isn't that strong. We see, for many reasons. So for example, one reason is, you know, brothers are involved in this, you know, these little crews and cliques, yeah, and they're fighting over postcodes, yeah, they're fighting over an area, yeah, and they're saying, this lamppost, I will defend this lamppost to the death. Yeah, this is the reality, isn't it? They're going, this lamppost, I will die for this lamppost. Yeah, you're from E such and such, and I'm from N such and such. Yeah, if you come into my territory, etc. Yeah, and this is happening, you know, from I'm from East London, and brothers are at it all the time. Now, when we even analyze that, you know, that type of gang mentality, that type of clique mentality, it's kind of like it's kind of like the behavior of animals, brothers. So I'll give you an example. You have the hyenas, yeah? Hyenas, what they do is, if you notice, they'll hunt together. Yeah? They'll hunt together for their meat, because they're weak enough to do it on their own. And if there's an attack, whether it be from a lion or something else, whenever there's an attack, they'll all get together. You know, every hyena backing another hyena. Yeah? But when that attack goes away,